And they have in-game money called Robux, important for blockchain people.
Exactly.
All of that stuff. So, um, yeah, I think we are really being led from gaming. I think that is where uh, the ground rules of our new society are being forged and
Mm,
formed are in the game worlds.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Definitely a very creative space. I think that for older people, it's kind of hard to envision that because they didn't grow up with it. But all the new generations kind of grow up with it, and they understand Robux as like, oh, it's an in-game currency. It's the like digital version that represents some tradable value of
Yeah.
objects, items, skins, stuff like that. When I tell that to my dad, he's like 70. He's like, what is this? Like why why are people doing this? Like why are you wasting money on some game? But what I think that will happen, which is already happening and has happened, is that people will live part of their lives in online communities, in virtual communities, in game communities, where they will trade digital goods and they will hold value. There are a lot of games being built now where you can earn cryptocurrencies, which are tradable for, let's call it quote unquote, real money, right? Because the definition
Fiat.
now, fiat,
Yeah.
yeah, the definition of what is real, it's kind of now shifting a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, kids can earn money now by playing games. That's like something that 10 years ago it didn't exist. Like nobody could make money online by playing a game. Well, rare
Unless
people
you got
could, but
paid for testing. Yeah.
yeah, but that
Yeah, it's
was
really, really interesting. I think so. Roblox is quite different to Fortnite or Minecraft in that new games come and go. So, like, we saw what happened with Among Us. Like,
yeah,
March 2020, the entire world I seem to be
playing it.
finding the traitor in their gang, you know?
Yeah,
And I haven't heard anybody talk about it in quite a while. I'm sure people are still playing it. And I'm sure it's still a lot of fun. Um, but that was like one game that had a moment.
yeah,
Whereas in Roblox, it is a platform with, like hundreds, thousands
hundreds
of
of games. Yeah.
games which come and go. And then there's types of games. And so you like obbies or obstacle courses, there will always be like your top three or your top five, and they might change.
Yeah, yeah,
And the game developers could be working on something new or working on extra levels or new features, improving it, but without the requirement of being like your competition being on the Play Store. Your
hmm,
competition is in this world, in Roblox.
yeah,
And it has a very distinct community, which is really quite young, and that is very unique.
hmm,
And I am, that has, watching how the kids have sort of grown and responded to that. It's even, do you remember when Twitter kind of went before ads to after ads? It was like
hmm,
really quite different now. My kids say that about Roblox. Like, it's really, it's not that the advertising is different, it's just the whole community. It's gotten so big
yeah.
that their experience has
Shift.
changed. Like
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And
Mm,
so that is happening in these online spaces and places
yeah.
as well. And that sense of trend or fad, which, kids always, even like before we had digital games, like, spring was always marbles, autumn was always conkers, seasonality and trend, and that was always a part of
Hmm,
um, how children work. They get really super interested in something, and then they fall out of that and they fall into something else, and
yeah, yeah.
sometimes you kind of come back around to it. So Roblox is perfectly set up to respond to that,
Hmm,
and to facilitate that. So it's really, oh God, I'm really going on to something here, but I have found it really enjoyable for my kids. And one of my kids got really interested in it and started developing games on it. And that
hmm,
like,
hmm.
he's only 10 now.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
uh, I think it's phenomenal,
Yeah.
and he builds his games for his friends, and he creates these avatar suits, and he trades bits and pieces and all these different kind of things. And but it's not so different to what we did as kids, you know,
Mm,
with like making clothes or trading clothes or, you know, accessorizing our t-shirts with like
yeah,
rips and
yeah,
pins and
yeah,
you know, it's really not so different. It is very much and it's not to be feared. That's what I
mm,
would say too. I
yeah,
know that I'm an outlier in terms of my embrace of technology or how I kind of came to it. I am an outlier, you know. And I would say to my fellow parents or my other moms, you know, don't be afraid of this stuff. This is humans are humans. This is not setting out to exploit. This is to be enjoyed, and
mm,
this is part of the new world context that
yeah,
our children are growing into, and
yeah.
that we as parents can enjoy it with them. You know, I got to go to the Lil Nas concert.
Fiona,
I would never have done that.
me neither, probably. Do you like games in general? Like, do you play any games?
Only for analysis, only for assessing gameplay and that kind of thing. I'm not very good. My reflexes are not very good. So like, if,
Yeah.
yeah.
And when you look at
I enjoy the stories. I enjoy them because they're a little bit like movies. I
Mhm.
enjoy the cultural aspects of them. I really enjoy watching my friends who love a game.
Yeah.
I'll sit down and sort of join in Grand Theft Auto or something like that with people who can really play. I mean, I suck at it, but I enjoy their prowess. Um, you know, things like that. So
Mhm.
yes, I enjoy it, but I've never put the time in.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, of
I'm
course.
always doing something else, which is
Mm,
probably less enjoyable. But I mean, it's
mm,
I like logic. I like
mm.
logic puzzles.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the full version, go to the Uncle Gold Podcast YouTube channel or watch the next clip.